Here I'm going to show you how I created a DIY CB or ham radio on-air light that was 3D printed that comes on automatically when you key the radio. Show you how I made it, but first I thought I'll show you just how it works in action.
That's funny. I like that.
Yeah, you sound good, Frank.
There's that double R.
Good evening, Nikolai, and the rest of the guys. Good evening, good evening. Good evening, good evening.
These files were found online. I printed them out following the instructions. Pretty straightforward. This was actually created for something else, but I'll have a link to the STL files that I used in this. But this is the on-air section. Red is the lowest layer. I then have it transition over to black and then white at the very top. These are 3D printed first, and then 3D print the base unit itself, where the actual LED file or LED strips will go. They'll go in the middle of this front section right here. So one LED strip goes there and the other across the back side. And then that's the cover that is upside down there, but goes over the light assembly itself, and the on-air pieces slide down inside the cover itself. Be able to see that here in just a second. And then I also found a small Balun box. That was another one that I found online that allows you to put two SO239s in either end. I did a little piece of coax in the middle, and then I used a amplifier keying circuit to go ahead and trigger the light to come on whenever you key the actual radio. Here's the actual light itself, assembled after it's been 3D printed. I went with standard 2.1 millimeter barrel connectors. Female side on the light itself. Size-wise, you can see about 8 inches long or about 200 millimeters long, so not too large of a box itself. This box here is the one that contains the keying circuit. This would go in line on your coax after your radio, and so it senses RF coming in on the line and then connects the ground connection over from the power source over to the light itself here. So that can the power can just come in on a 2.1 millimeter barrel connector as well, tied into the same power supply as the radio, and then it connects over to the light itself. If you don't want to use the RF keying circuit at all inside of that, but just want to power the light itself, you can just plug it in direct and it will just always be on. But that basically is the setup for the unit itself. This is the inside of the keying circuit box there. Standard 2N, 22A transistor that's doing all of the controlling. I've got a 5 watt 100 ohm resistor at the top there. That's connected to the positive side of the 12 volt that's going to the light itself. That's going to bring the brightness down a little bit. So if you're using the RF keying box, it's not going to be as bright as directly powered. I found that to kind of be the sweet spot there. I used LMR 400 on this one in the middle there. Probably use RG 400 next time. But the basic general keying circuit that you would find inside of a like a transistor amplifier. Gatekeeper amps. I followed one of his tutorials on how to build these keying circuits. I put them in a handful of amps that I've built. But I'll link that video down below as well so that you can see that, and he explains everything there. But there's the internals inside of the box itself. This is inside the box while I was still working on it. Just using alligator clips to come off the keying circuit down to the actual LEDs themselves. Only on one side here, but here you can see how the LEDs actually light when I'm keying the mic. These are the actual LEDs that I used for this particular light. These are 2835s, meaning 2.8 millimeters wide by 3.5 millimeters tall. But you can see how tightly they're packed in density-wise. These are standard 50/50s. Down here, RGBs. These are dense for 50/50s also, but nowhere near as dense as what you'll see up here on the 2835s. When the lights are packed in really tight and dense, you're going to get more even light and not just those big boxes of light that you'll see on the backside. And here's just one more clip once I got the box finished up. The RF keying circuit in line. Powered in, connected up to a Cobra 2000 here. Key the mic, you get an on-air light let off. It turns off. Pretty simple design.